Oh my God, it's over. Carlos, it's over, man. This is it. It's over. Carlos flopping a flush, Faraz flopping a flush. They both have amazing hands. Carlos thinks he has a straight flush draw. He doesn't. Faraz Jaka's got the ace queen of diamonds. Can't hit it. Whoa, Philippe has aces. That's legitimate advertising for courses. The second thing is you can have a foursome, so you can have guests on your stream daily. Interesting, different people, right? The hardest part is watching the ball on a camera where you can't see where it finishes is boring. So you need someone to help you with your stream. It's not a one-person setup. I mean, you could one-person setup, but it'd be kind of boring. You kind of need a two-person setup because you need to see where the ball ends instead of they hit the ball. Oh, I think that's good. And then you wait 4 minutes until they walk out of their ball. That doesn't work. It's not good enough. So you need someone to cameraman with you on the stream and to be in the landing area. A landing area, the driver on the green on par threes, they need to be ahead of the group with the ability to switch the stream to that camera feed, which is what makes it complicated and difficult. Philippe's going to take it down. But if someone can do it, I mean, Twitch would find it hilarious, man. Twitch would find a golf stream hilarious if you did it right. If you have a foursome, if you use carts, you can get the cart cam, you can get the scorecard, you know, double cart cans, you're driving with the fairway, banter, like, it would kill. But it's technically challenging. Yeah, and if you're doing it well, need someone with a drone camera, that's absolutely true. If you could get a live feed of a drone, that would be epic. Sound, obviously. But then you're starting to get into, like, full production territory where it's costing you a lot. I think realistically, 2 people would be plenty. The golfer
King, Queen.
And the person that runs the stream on like a streaming laptop, as well as a cameraman that's ahead of the group. Faraz going to raise it up onto the gun with the King Queen. Faraz takes it down. Easy raise and take it, man. Easy, easy. Camera in the ball. I'm an idea man. This from last year? Technically, 2019, November, though, so 2 months ago. This is the main event from 2 months ago. I know who the winner is because I commented on it on the podcast, but that's all I've seen. I haven't seen any hands from the event or anything. It was broadcast at the time live on Poker Go, but now it's released by Pottery Poker, so we can do commentary on it. But yeah, I mean, this is an unknown tournament to me, really. I haven't seen any of the hands, so it should be interesting to see how the tournament plays out, you know? We do have Faraz Jaka on the table. We have Ryan Reese on the table. We have Alexandros, who's a WSOP Europe main event champion. And we have Michael Gagliano. So pretty stacked table. There's some other players at the table as well who are less known to me, at least, but they could be well known in the live poker scene. So it's a really interesting makeup. Whoa, Faraz! Flopping the flush, no big deal. Ryan Reese, who raised under the gun +2. I would bet here, if I was Ryan Reese, I would bet like 20,000 into 94K. Like 1/5 of the pot or something. It just seems really nice. Faraz checks again with the flush now. Ryan Reese is going to go for a bet of 25K. And if I'm Faraz at this point, I'd probably just go for a raise, I think. Yep. Goes for a raise. Not quite 100,000, 95K. And Ryan Reese folds with the ace up, and that's fine. One the ask, why is some poker players so tight speaking about money and some so open seem so dodgy when you don't speak out? From one. I hear what you're saying, dude, but you got to think about it from my perspective, right? So I run this stream. How are people going to react to seeing the money on the stream? You know, because I know how much money I have. So I could just put how much money I have. what is that going to do for me and for you and our relationship in this channel? Like, what good is going to come of it? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it might be interesting for you to see how much money I have, and that might be useful for you and an interesting sweat. But the long-term relationship between us is not going to be good. You know, it's either going to be very negative or very positive, or you're going to lose some of your relatability, or it's going to go the other way where people are just like, you're on that much money, you're wasting your time. You know, it's just like you open yourself up to so much. So many judgments for no reason when that's not what it's about. It's not about how much money I have. This is about poker, man. You know? So that's why. But your brother's open about it. I know. I've had extensive conversations with him why I think it's a bad idea and I don't think he should do it. Now, he's his own person, so he chooses to display his bankroll and showcase it. You know, and there's some positives to that. Of course, people love sweating it. I don't think it's a good idea. I disagree with him. But people that really love sweating his bankroll every day, love it. You know, they come into this chat and they want to see it from me. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Clear, cool.
Okay. So, Angelica with the flush draw here, King 9, and Faraz Jaka with the Ace King.
Six of spades rolls off on the turn.
Looks like raise, 3-bet call, check on the flop, right?
Put some pressure on, try and make some ace highs fold.
Angelica is going to bet 125,000 here into 162. Action back on Faraz. The Ace King and the Ace of Clubs, and it's a little bit of a difficult spot here with Ace King out of position.
Working against him holding ace of clubs.
We would not judge your earnings. We will only judge your hairstyle. Yeah. I deserve harsh judgment today then. Bankroll display, maybe it was fine, but not a good idea anymore. At first, yeah. That's the thing. What happens when it's your 5th year and you've hopefully started to save some money, right? Like for me, I've got some money in the stock market. So do I include that in my bankroll? I've got some money in crypto as well. Do I include that in my bankroll? It's not really my bankroll, you know? Like, it could be my bankroll, but it's not really. Like, some of that's, like, long-term savings and, like, investments to generate alternative income streams and stuff. Like, you know, it'd be really bizarre if, let's say, like, a 33-year-old poker pro, you know, owned 40% of a house and the rest of it was mortgaged and he put his home equity in his bankroll. Because it's like, well, I could sell the house. Like, you know, that's part of my net worth. It's all part of my bank. Like, you know, it's just a very... That sweat ends, you know what I mean? I think for a lot of professional poker players, once you reach a certain level of success, the bankroll sweat doesn't become a thing anymore. Like, the net worth sweat becomes a thing where it's just like, I want to become as successful as I can, but you're not really sweating your roll day to day. You know what I mean? Or at least that's my perception of how it works. You know, I don't think Faraz Jaka here on this table is thinking like, where's my roll at?
King 10, 5.
I think that's like when you're relatively new to online poker and you're trying to build a level of success, you're thinking about your bankroll. And it's useful, you know, like I thought about my bankroll for probably 6 or 7 years of the 10 years I've been playing. And then since then, I haven't really thought about it much. So, I don't know. Yo, Sank Z, I'm glad you're liking the broadcast, my friend. If you guys have any feedback, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think about the live poker commentary and coverage of these events that have happened in the past. I'm actually seeing, so there's a event going on in Russia at the end of January that is doing live commentary. I will be potentially doing commentary after the fact as well, which would be interesting. Like, we could recast what happened earlier in the day. So it would be a little bit more live than this, or more current. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about it. You can tweet me, you can email me, or you can just put it in the chat too, whatever you want. Because this is a new concept, but people seem to like it. Whenever I do it, viewership just consistently climbs, and we get a lot of people that are newer to poker that pop in and say hey and ask questions. And I enjoy it. It's like a nice mix for me with actually playing and commentating some. So I'd love to hear from it.
Joko calling with Queen, Jack of Hearts in a small Ryan with 9-7 in the big.
Manuel Ribeiro. Kind of strange. In my country, if you have 200K, you can get a nice life for the rest of your life, enough to live well. Yeah, man, that's the thing, you know? That's the thing with money, too. Is it's so subjected to where you live and your situation. Queen Jack 9-7 King Queen, like 200,000 in Canada. I mean, you're well off. Like you're wealthy if you have 200,000 in assets that are like liquid in Canada. But you're not gonna be able to live for your whole life, not very long. You know, and in like California, in the U.S. or something, you know, you might get 4 years out of it, right? So it's very relative to where you live. But I think in Canada, if you get to about if you get about 1.5 million or something like that, then you can live like a standard life for the rest of life off just like interest and stuff. You know, if you get to about 1.5 million, you should be good to go, as long as you don't want to live a flashy life. For me, that's not really, you know, there's a big like movement, seems like, for people to achieve financial independence and retire early. For me, I really love what I do and my work, so I don't really want to retire. It's not like a goal of mine.
Be a little optimistic to try and get more out of that one.
I want to prepare for it if I want to, you know, have choices. But like for me, my goal is not to just never have to work again at 40 years old and do everything I can to get to that point. I like the idea of leveling up and striving to do better and grow to a bigger bankroll, be able to help the world in a bigger way, and then also live like a more luxurious lifestyle. Like that's all exciting to me and fun. The idea of that. But, you know, one step at a time, right? Are you still watching Casino Daddy regularly? Yeah, Flow SFM, I am. Yep. I watched their meme opening last night, actually. Okay, so the blinds are 8K, 16K with the 16K button ante. Carlos, under the gun +2 with the King Jack of Diamonds. Very good hands. Carlos only has 514,000 here, so getting a little bit more intense for them. Faraz Jaka with the Ace Queen of Diamonds in the hijack. Let's get some love in the chat for Fajita Friday. Drop of the 4-month resub. Welcome back to the team, Fajita Friday. Thanks for your support, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I mean, I like my job as well, but I'd love to not need to do this anymore or do something I loved, even if it paid garbage or nothing. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. For me, like, I love streaming and playing poker, and then trying to grow poker or change the way people think about poker, or create something positive in poker. Like, I really enjoy that. So don't get me wrong. Like, if I had unlimited money, I wouldn't do all the things I do in poker. Like, I would change. There's some things within my job as an ambassador or Team Online member that I do because I'm working alongside Party Poker and like trying to do my best. Oh my God, it's over. Carlos, it's over, man. This is it.
10-9-4, all diamonds.
It's over. Carlos flopping a flush, Faraz flopping a flush. They both have amazing hands. Carlos thinks he has a straight flush draw. He doesn't. Faraz Jaka's got the Ace Queen of Diamonds. Can't hit it. I guess he could go 8-7 or something like that, technically. Oh my God. That's so sucky for Carlos, man. F for respect. See ya. You can't do it. You can't do it. Bet of 80K.
Whatever happens, this is going in.
This is just like watching someone die slowly. That's what this is.
Just a call here. decides to hang himself. That's what he'll be thinking. No, he's going the other way. He's coming out with a little raise. 100,000 more.
Interesting raise from Carlos.
His luck.
It shows a ton of strength here.
Carlos with just over 200,000 behind. Now
So if I'm Faraz, I call. I mean, we can see it doesn't matter. They both have a flush. They're getting it all in. But let's pretend we don't know Carlos's hand. If you're Faraz, you should just call here. You have the nuts, you know. Like, just call, let Carlos continue his stuff. But he shoves.
Well, when he says, and Carlos says, I've got a flush. Well,
oh, Carlos. No, Carlos. No. All right, 8 of diamonds for the sweat, man. 8 of diamonds for the sweat. Please, one time for the stream.
Running 7, 8 of diamonds.
All 4 of the big diamonds are down. All right.
Okay.
What's that?
Have fun.
GG, Carlos.
With that, back
Faraz Jaka, the legend, chipping up more, 2.5 million
5 million chips.
for the Faraz Jaka.
Carlos out to the floor. Still, of course, plenty of chances to pay this tournament.
It's weird looking at the rest of the room because with the background video, you feel like there's like a window there or something, you know? And then you turn around, you're like, whoa, this is a conference room with no windows.
Can I get some bugs?
So, are we going to get another player in? Down to 7 on the table. But it'd be nice to get a new fresh player. Get a new fresh story coming in. Philippe
ace 10
with the ace 10 suited. It's beautiful. And only 284,000 here. Philippe can just go all in if he wants. The raise is fine too. But it is profitable to shove as well. It's worth noting. Folds around to the big blinds. 10-8 suited. Very good hand. Definitely a hand you want to play.
10-8 hearts in the big
Michael Gagliano, known as Gags. He actually has streamed some on Twitch, this player. He's in New Jersey based. He's going to call to a flop. Ace, ace-6, 2 hearts. A very interesting flop here. Philippe flopping top trips with a short stack. And Gags with the 10-8 of hearts has a flush draw here. Philippe bets 25K.
Gags with the flush draw.
What do you do if you're Gagliano? Do you call and then face really difficult spots in the turn, or do you raise and pretty much only get it in against flush draws and trip aces? You know, but then fold out a lot of hands that are beating you right now. He does elect to call. 8 on the turn. Really good card for Gagliano because he picks up a pair. He now beats all of the bluffs like the king highs, the queen highs, the jack highs with his pair of 8s. And he also sometimes has some outs against hands that might bet the turn for value, like kings or something.
227 back, 138 in the pot. Any kind of
Philippe is looking down at his chips a lot. I feel like he's going to bet. Philippe at 70K. And I call. If I'm Gagliano, I call. We can see he has 21% to win the hand. He, of course, doesn't know that. He knows he has a pair and a flush draw. And he is up against one of the worst case scenarios, you know, actual trip aces. Which you expect Philippe to have trip aces a lot. But not always. Not 100% of the time. Call. To the river. Deuce of clubs. It's a brick. And I'm assuming Philippe's going to go all in for the remaining 157,000. And Gagliano's going to fold, but we'll see what happens. Greeting from Germany. What's up, Robert? How's it going, man? Welcome. All in for 157. Ooh, Gagliano's thinking about it here.
What hands does Philippe do 3 streets with as a bluff?
Gagliano's going to fold out. I mean, blocks the flush as well. Blocks the flush draws he wants his opponent to have.
Never going to be that wide.
Yeah, you got to fold.
There we go.
Yeah.
let it go.
Fajita Fried is saying, how do I improve my online play? Do very, very well live, but I can't seem to be anywhere near consistent. Now I've never studied anything. If I was to go that route, where do I start? From Fajita Friday. So the difference from live to online is that online, the barrier of entry to playing is much easier. You only have to deposit like 10 or 20 bucks to play. You can play at home. It's much faster, like 4 times as many hands. So as a result, a $1, $2 cash game live is much, much easier than a $1, $2 cash game online. So you need to understand that first, is that the levels of skill relative live to online, you know, something like a 2 cent, 5 cent cash game online is going to be similar to a $1, $2 cash game live. You know, like that's where the levels are. So it's difficult if you're used to playing live, you know, playing $40 tournaments live or $100 tournaments live or 1-2 cash games, to hop online and play the same games. The competition is going to be much stronger. You got to understand that. But, you know, of course it balances out because you play twice as many hands. You can actually play 2 tables or 3 tables or 4 tables, right? So you can actually play effectively a similar amount by adding more tables. But to start getting better, I think Twitch and YouTube is a good spot to start because you learn the sorts of things you don't know. You learn the questions you need to ask and the things you need to study in depth by, like, hey, this streamer is talking about this. I don't understand what he's talking about. What does he mean, you know, with pot odds of 3 to 1? What does that mean? And then you look at pot odds, and then you start to learn about it more, and you watch some videos on YouTube about pot odds, etc. As we have Alexandros here with the Ace King. So that's a good place to start. Paid video training is how people really get good at poker nowadays. I use Raise Your Edge. I think it's the best on the market, the best course out there. I do have a link below the stream. It's very expensive, though. If you're just getting into online play, like, it's $1,000 for the masterclass, and I think about $500 for the apprentice class. I do have a discount, I think, of 150 off and 75 off for those courses. But there's intermediate courses as well. Like, there's cheaper online training. You can work up to that. You know, you can build. Maybe you can start playing online if you hit a tournament for 2,000, then you buy it and go all the way. You know, so that's kind of the experience. That's what I do. That's what the elite players are doing, is paying for like elite level courses from the very best players in the game. But
I can't see how you can call up they say
you know,
over 20 bigs.
you can start with free resources as well. If you play on Party Poker, check out My Game as well. My Game is a really good resource because it's free and it measures your game against a computer to tell you, like, you're doing this way too much or you're doing this not enough. Hopefully that helps, man. All right, so Adrias is thinking about this with the ace-8 on the button. Raises it up. Alexandros goes all in with the ace-king. Now, by the book, Adrias should call here. If he knows that Alexandros is shoving correctly. No, he doesn't know that. Right? But if you were to run a simulation, computer versus computer here, ace-8 is good enough,
like
which is why we see the call.
Ace-8.
And it's an annoying spot for Adrias. I feel for him. But he's just giving a lot of credit to Alexandros, which he should. World Series of Poker Europe main event champion. Goes by Mexican 222 online. Very good player. Like, they're going all in with enough hands to profitably call ace-8 here. So it looks really bad on the stream, but it's not. And king high flop, that's probably going to be it.
Diamonds. The only out. Wait a minute.
Whoa! Sit down!
Straw.
Diamond! Whew. Too quick of a sweat, dealer. You got to sweat that one a little bit more. You got to sweat that one a little bit more. Which emote should I unlock? Last time I got Stab Berry. Stab W. Upper mill. Will. Stab W. Next to Stab Berry might be the best one. It might be. Blue, I'm not sure what I'm going to play yet. I don't know what I'm going to play later. We got the home game going on in an hour and 22 minutes. If you guys would like to play, ! home game. It's going down on Party Poker. I am registered right now. It's a $5 buy-in. There's a $25 bounty on my head, as well as the whole final table gets $11 Twitch Open tickets. So it's a good value spot and it should be fun. Any new prop bets this year outside of poker? No, dude. I am not interested in taking on any bets. I mean, of course, at the right price, any bet makes sense. But I'm very clear on what I'm doing this year, you know. Definitely not looking for any prop bet spots. That's not me, you know. I took on 2 crazy ones because I had some pretty good opportunities to do them, but you know, in no way am I like trying to position my career as like a prop better. That's not, you know, that was just for fun. Just started sit and go. First hand ace ace. Bobble. Might be yours to win, my friend. Might be your time. This could be it, dude. Take a look here and see what we got for high stakes tournaments that are running right now. Because I can play tournaments on the side, you know. I could play one on the side. Add it so we have a little bit of a sweat going on later. Shouldn't do it yet, though. I got to pee. Aces for Angelco. Folds around to the big blind. Philippe with the ace-6. Dangerous, man. I mean, we can, of course, see Jelko has aces. I think this is the worst percentage of any hand. 94% against 6%. I think aces against ace-6 is it. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I feel like it is. I feel like pre-flop 6% is the worst you can possibly do. I think.
Don't see Philippe folding this for 1 bet. Albeit he's up against an undergun open.
Cheers, deuce, deuce, never lose. Cheers, man. Yeah. Jimmy, you ever stake anyone? I don't really know. LD Wilson. I don't. I have sometimes on Stake Kings. And maybe there'd be some cool things to do, like being able to stake some of the community in some tournaments and sweat them and stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
Sure enough, he does cool, and he'll need to miss.
So I don't know. I'll think about that a little bit. Maybe we could do something. All right, 164K in the middle. Philippe went for the check call, right? Which is totally understandable with the ace-6, you know, 3 to a straight, ace high, which is the best hand sometimes. So I get that. Queen of hearts at the turn, though. You know, the party's kind of over. Philippe doesn't really have any choices here.
Much bigger on the turn, 115.
And a fold. There it is. Kid Poker 89, dropping the 12-month resub. 1 year in the house. Thank you very much, Kid Poker 89. I appreciate it. Hearts out in chat for the new subscriber. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. 21 subs today. I appreciate it. I really gotta pee. If this isn't a big hand, I've gotta go pee now. It's too much. It's too much. Ryan folds the 4-3. Been pretty card dead, Ryan Reese. We haven't seen him for a while. Ace King for Alexandros. We're still waiting for a player in the 3 seed as well. Empty. Folds around to
Ace King.
Angelco, who calls.
Jelko peels from the big 10-6 diamond.
Jack 9 deuce. Both players miss completely. Angelco has a backdoor flush draw and some backdoor straights here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Angelco continue. Alexandros is going to bet 25,000. I was gonna say that'd be a big bet. And a fold for the 10-6 of diamonds. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Plenty of better hands to defend with.
Hello for France, Jamie. What's up? Ready to Gamb 64. Hello, hello. If they're linked to the tourney leaderboard, we can follow anywhere from Forgive Hexar. This is not actually happening right now in real time. This happened in November. It was broadcast on Poker Go. So this is the first time I think it's been broadcast on Twitch before. So yeah, we're going over a past tournament. It's already happened. You could look up the winner if you wanted to, but if you want to sweat the tournament with all of us that don't know what happens, then yeah, come along for the ride, my friend. You quit PokerStar team? I did, or I chose not to continue. I didn't quit in a sense, but I didn't renew my contract and started working with Party Poker as of May. But no, we completed a contract and then it was the option to renew. Whoa, speaking of card dead, Ryan Reese with the ace and the ace. No more card dead, man.
Raise. Just over a 3x.
Do you know him on Stars, Jamie? He is Take Chip. Who's Take Chip?
I think it's a little larger. Angelico's already shown some interest.
Angelico is Take Chip? Is that true?
That's sent the alarm bells ringing in his head. Wow, he's reaching
Take Chip
for
has
raising
played
chips.
high stakes cash games for
Timing
a
little off
long
here.
time.
Okay. Limp raising to 150,000.
Philippe. Philippe is Take Chip.
Right now, surely. Just a
No
trap.
way. Really?
Blind on blind, you've got position.
Wow.
You're going to want to proceed with quite a few of the hands you've raised with.
I never knew that.
Cool, seems
I
like
didn't
it's
know
managed.
Take Chip's identity was even out there. But Take Chip is always sitting at the highest stakes, no limit games, I believe, right? No limit, not PLO. No limit. Wow. Sick. Philippe is Take Chip. What a tough table, man. I still remember like sweating some of the big games on Stars, some of the big cash games, and seeing him
Any hand post flop should have bad.
sitting there. So crazy. Not anymore. Haven't seen him at the tables. Oh, okay. So is he not grinding anymore? NL 5000, yeah. I mean, 5100 and 2550 and stuff. All right. He's a regular at Playground. Oh, so is he like moved to the live cash games? Not a bad idea, honestly, because I understand there's some really big games at Playground, right? And although the rake is high for smaller games, like the bigger games, it's not as big of a deal. I know because I'm from Quebec. He never really came out as him, but everyone here knows. Ah, okay.
He's coming in for a raise.
What's up, Smarzy? How's it going, man? Yeah, we're good. We're sweating a live tournament here. It's been fun. This is day 1A of the Caribbean Poker Party main event, which happened just here in 2019. So, yeah. We've got a pretty interesting final table here, not final table. Faraz Jaka, we got Take Chip, we've got Mexican 222, we've got WCP Europe main event champion, WCP main event champion. It's a sick table, man. It's really tough. A lot of really good players in here. We have aces from Angelico. But to be fair, most of these players are very successful. So I even struggle now knowing that Philippe is Take Chip. It's like, you know, he's much better at poker than I've ever been before. So it's difficult to comment. But, you know, I'll just get my thoughts on it anyways. But you should take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm certainly not like the best player at this table and the authority on how these players should be playing. It's not that at all. But I'll still give you guys my thoughts on things, you know. Because what else am I going to do? Just sit back and be like, There's no delay right now, yeah. So we're going to put a delay on later when we play some online poker. We've got a home game in an hour and 15 minutes going on Party Poker. So after the day 1A coverage, I'm going to put a delay on and we're going to play some cards. But until then, no delay so we can talk in real time. Jamie, I discovered you when you commented on Heymania and Benjamin Chalot's victory over Party Poker Million online. There, I connect to Twitch and I fall on your channel tonight. It's nice. Ready to Gamb 64. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. That's very cool. I always love to hear the stories about how people find the stream, you know, how they find the stream or the YouTube channel or whatever. Like, they're always from random different sources. So, welcome.
Gags on the button.
The home game is $5, Striker, 1992, $5 buy-in. There is a $25 bounty on my head, as well as an $11 Twitch Open ticket, which is every Saturday, to the whole final table. So there's about $115 added. $5 buy-in is pretty good. Gagliano's going to raise from the button with the Queen 10 of Hearts, and Faraz Jaka in the big blind with 7-6.
7 of clubs, he's going to peel.
We'll call. Some pretty good hands. I mean, you look down at these hands, you're happy to see them. Very pretty nice hands. Queen 9-3 flop.
Top pair.
Not very good for Faraz Jaka. Gagliano here.
Just
The Queen 10 of hearts. You gotta feel happy. Still not gone to the bathroom, right? Yeah, I haven't. But I'm a hype show. I can't.
You can do a point bet where you
Can't do it, man.
bet like X amount per point.
Good luck, Jamie, in the home game. Mr. Moore, what's up, man? I'll be waiting all week for the home game. Back in action tonight, dude. Starting up in an hour and 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Just
First
kidding.
2 hours of this table
23
were
seconds.
Frantic. A lot of hands clashing. A lot of interesting spots. This last level and a half has been much more cagey
Okay.
affair.
I gotta pee, man. I'm turning up the commentary. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, chat.
Despite the 2 bust outs.
So you can hear the commentary that was going on at the time. But I want to see the whole cards dealt. Maybe this is a cooler. I have to see the whole cards.
I guess because it's near the break, maybe they're not.
You know what I'm talking about, though. You know what I'm talking about.
I heard that's how they do in Jersey.
Yeah,
I can't. I gotta go.
you can if you want. Yeah.
Tight
And you can set a max on how many you can win.
Oh
and
no!
lose.
I opened up both cameras. What? That was a
Jack's
tight
aiming for
fold with
raise
Jack
once
10,
again,
man.
This time ace, queen of clubs in the cutoff. And it's going to get some action as Alex.
All right,
sits
this is
down
action.
king,
I'll be right
queen
back.
on the button.
Yeah, you go to Jersey.
There's no way. I mean, the lines can win by 24. They're not gonna lose by 20.
Yeah, that's impossible.
It's literally so impossible. The Rams could lose by 22.
5 seconds.
Deciding with the flat 3-bet. Seems like the latter more likely.
120.
He does 3x the open, 120k. It should freeze Faraz out of this one.
Lamar's on the other side. I think you know that.
Okay, starting the hand with 40 bigs.
No.
Lamar's on this person. Lamar's on this person.
Deciding whether to 4-bet or just flat. Ace queen suited may see him lean towards flatting. Certainly a good enough hand to go with. Cut off versus button.
5 seconds. Last 30 seconds.
Take me against your boy Covington too. We'll book a whole bunch of fun bets.
On.
All in.
He does decide to move it in. Now there's no way out. It's calling off king queen. A nice pick up for Gags.
Do you know anyone who
Gets
does
a little bit
2.7
closer to
thing?
that starting stack.
Do you know anyone who would bet me?
Here we go. Our break coming up in about 20 minutes. After that break, we will switch up the feature table, and Richard Seymour appears to be on it. Well, as you know, Simon Devon in the foreground, the NFL Hall of Famer. See in the middle of the room there. Tom certainly filling up, so this will be our next feature table.
But it was working. I will get everything.
Diane looks like she's doubling up. Or paying out a bet.
Whoa, we're out in the field.
Looks like paying
Damn.
out a double up effect. So our upcoming feature table after the next break.
Ooh. Oh. Got a new table coming in hot? Who's it gonna be? How would you rank yourself as a poker player, LD
Seymour.
Wilson? Successful.
Headline name on that
I
table.
don't know. In
Very
terms of
keen
skill,
poker
like
player.
it's very relative, man. It's relative to who you're comparing
He's
to,
hanging up
and I
the
don't find it
boots.
useful to compare to other people, to be honest. So you can compare yourself against the very best, of the best, and I'm garbage against the best players in the world.
So declared him
I'd
up.
get
Okay,
smashed.
betting is quite
Compare
there.
myself against an average poker player, and I smash,
Or pro
I
bowl.
crush. So it's like, my own expectations of myself, I'm content but always hungry for more and trying to grow and be better.
Back on our feature for Raz.
Hey, commentators. Thank you for Phil. Ace 5 against 5 deuce here.
This one has a raise in the
Z Colbster. Oh, I really like your little avatars, man. TwitchCon 2017 and FFZ supporter.
hand.
Sick.
Hard to see.
Recently started playing online poker, which is pretty good results. Play money because US, but I was wondering how much tighter I should play cash games versus tournaments. It always depend on the number of people at the table.
What already?
It does depend on the number of people at the table, for sure. It also really depends on the structure of the game, like whether there's antes or no antes. So whether you should play more aggressive or less aggressive is a tough question to answer. I think actually a little bit more aggressive in tournaments. And why is that? Because there's antes in the pot, which means there's more money in the pot to play for every hand, right? The second thing is your stack is shorter. So how much you're playing for in relation to what you can lose, that ratio is lower than in a cash game, where if, let's say you have $2,000 and there's $3 in the pot, right? Well, that ratio is very high. So you're taking big risks with bad hands, whereas in a tournament, you're taking less of a risk because you have less chips in relation to what's in the pot. But it's a tough question to answer. Like, you shouldn't really think about it like, oh, I'm in a cash game, so I play tight, or I'm in a tournament, so I play loose. Everything in poker is very situational. Like, every hand, your position matters. How many chips you have in relation to the blinds matters. Your specific opponents matter. All of those things dictate your decisions. So really, you should be thinking about what factors should I think about to make a decision here. That's like a good place to start in poker. Like, okay, I know my position, and I know my hand, and I know how many big blinds I have or my stack depth. You know, and I kind of have some general assumptions about my opponents. Like, all those factors, think about them and try and weight them and put them together into decisions, you know? Man, is the average table this tourney this tough? I have no idea. But this is a hella tough table, man. Tough table.
Ryan sneaking past that starting stack.
Oh, you weren't here, were you? Really? Yeah, you were.
Philippe raises up to 32K. With the blinds 8K, 16K, Philippe has about 18 big blinds here. Not very many chips. Gagliano now in the big blind. And this, I think, is actually a shove all in against Philippe. You have the pair. And a pair against the average hand that raises up from Philippe. A lot of them are going to fold. And when you get called, you're often flipping, you know. So it's an all-in and a fold from Philippe. There it is. Michael taking it down. Taking it down. They need to fill the chair. Yeah, we need another player at the table. Come on. Let's get another player at the table here, man. Thank you all very much for hanging out and watching this stream today, though. I feel like the guys are watching me. What's up, guys? Hello. How's it going? This is good, man. I'm looking forward to casting this whole tournament. It'll be a lot of fun. The tournament is not happening now. Hey, Richie, no. This happened in November. It was originally broadcast on Poker Go, but now we're doing a rebroadcast for the next couple weeks of this event. So
15 bigs. Very awkward. This time, he's just going to put them all in the middle. If you want to beat him, you're going to have to C5.
Philippe is all in with the Jack 10 of hearts. Takes it down. What are the rules for adding players? I always thought in tournament, someone was supposed to win the table, so adding players would seem counterproductive to that goal. No, so that's a specific kind of tournament, Lon. That's a shootout tournament. So how a shootout works is you start with a certain amount, and then you play down to one person, and then you combine with all the other tables of one person to make another table. That's how a shootout works. In this tournament, there's hundreds of players. Let's say 500 players, right? So basically, they just keep removing tables. So like the tournament director, when someone busts out, they get a player, like a card for that seat in the tournament, right? So they collect these cards, and when they have 8, they know that there is 8 open seats in the room, or when they get 7 technically. So then they'll go to a table, they'll break it, and they'll give each player at the table one of these cards from another table. So that table gets eliminated, and those players go throughout the room to the open seats, right? So that's how you consolidate tables in a live tournament, is that as 7 open seats open up, you go to a table, you send everyone off, or 8 open seats, you send everyone off at that table to a different seat, and that table is now closed. And maybe the tournament's down to 19 tables, and then 18 tables, then 17 tables. So in a multi-table tournament like this, you get paid based on your finish position. And I don't know how many places this is going to pay, but probably something like 50 or 60 people are going to be paid, right? So you just try and survive. You try and outlast other people. Hopefully that makes sense, Lon.
Whereas with backdoor hearts and some backdoor straight draw. He's going to fire in a little better, one big blind.
No, he tried. He was ready to play the big pot.
Fraz's going to go for that little mini bet. Jack 6. I mean, Alexandro's definitely going to continue here with the pair.
You were in there, yeah. You get most of the credit.
Oh, it's of course
To the
queen
turn.
pair.
Hello, sir. What's up, ice cold pillow? Oh,
Blank card. He
nothing better than an ice cold pillow.
turns 2 pair. Whereas picks up.
How do they get these players at the camera table? Can't be random. From ZX. I don't know how they do it for Party Poker Live, but the table draw is random. Like the players that you get at the table is random, and then generally they choose a table to be the feature table. Some tours, it's in the rules where they're allowed to choose the most interesting table, and then in some tournaments they can't choose. It's just a random, whoever gets seated on like table 1, for example, is at the feature table. But most poker tournaments choose the feature table. And I would guess, based on the lineup here, that that's what's happened.
Cool as what he does, and wow, Jin
That
River
is a
running
good run out
jacks.
for Alexandros with the full house. Jack 6. Fraz Jaka has a whole bunch of nothing. Is he going to try the bluff? It wouldn't work this time. We know that. We know that.
It's not out of the realms of possibility that Faraz goes for a big bluff here.
Gives up.
He does decide just to check
Alexandros
back
with the
in.
full house takes it out.
Wise
The more I
decision.
learn about poker, the more I love it.
Jacks full.
It's a great game. It's like, you know what's so good about it? When you first play, to figure out how it works is not too difficult, right? And then when you get into it more and more, like
It is the last
Z Kolbster,
hand.
me and you were talking about it, like
This
the depth
of characters.
of thoughts and thinking and strategy that goes into it is endless. You know, it just keeps going and going and going. So here is our feature table at 6, but they're moving out to the field. We're going to have a new feature table moving in. So GG and good luck to the 6 out there in the field. We're going to have some new players. I'm looking forward to it, man.
It's
going to be good. Z Culture saying, appreciate the info. I guess my issue is more so bet sizing. As play progresses in cash versus tournaments, I feel like sometimes tournament style aggression bites me more in cash, but maybe a small sample. That's another thing. Bet sizing, Z Culture. That's one of those things that you just learn over time.
Everybody,
You know?
Caribbean poker party.
All right, here's the new table, man.
At the bar.
All right, let's pause it for a second. I'm going to pause it so that we can really get a look here. Walter Oquim. If anyone is Brazilian, speaks Portuguese out there, let me know if I'm saying that correctly. Charette Duff, Yvonne Steidel, Simon Dedman, Andreas Diga, Dejan Kotevezzi, Richard Seymour, and Rodriguez George. It's not Rodriguez. Rodriguez George. Very international table. Very hype. I'm liking it. Stacks. Everyone's pretty deep. Blinds are 10K, 20K. Let's go, man.
This is our new featured table.
Let's go.
You know, just a few more chips here. Richard Seymour, the second shortest stack, but over a starting stack. And
Rodriguez.
who is below
Rodriguez.
that starting
All right.
mark.
Let's do this. Whoa. The shirt, man. The shirt making a statement with the thumbs up. I like Walter's style already. Richard Seymour. That's a famous like American football player, right?
10,000 at 20,000.
Yeah. There we go. All right. We got Richard Seymour. I've seen him at some live events I've played in the past. I've never played with him, but
Richard raising up queen.
Yvonne from, I don't know.
Tens
what that flag is. I want to say Austria, but it's not. I want to say Poland, but it's not. What is it?
He goes with ace 4. Completes from the big blind. We go 3-way on our first part of this new feature table.
Yeah, red, white, red.
8. Richard taking the lead. Even has a backdoor flush draw.
I will do the mistake, sure. I will do mistake, sure. Here.
Oh, what is it? Do you guys know? Is that Austria? Red, white, red?
Action checks 2.
I don't know.
Click on the button.
Latvia. See, that's it. Yeah. I thought it was like Baltic. Latvia flag. The color definitely looks very different on Google than it does here, but Austria flag. The Latvia flag, yeah, no, it is the Austria flag. That's true. It's Austria flag. Latvia flag looks more like burgundy.
Stick around for
Okay,
these bets.
well, I lived there for a while. I should have known that. Yeah, I think it's Austria. Yeah, okay. Well, my bad. Good luck, Yvonne. Richard to the pot here with the queen 6. Yvonne with the 10s. Yvonne's my pick because I miss Vienna at this point. So
I'm doing her best to keep a straight face. She rivers
Yvonne's my
forward.
pick. Richard though. Whoa! Yvonne just hit a full house on the end. I missed it. All right.
With that river card. Bad news in a second.
Big Whale, what's up? If this is not live, why are you watching day 1A instead of like the final day? Because we're going to do all 5 days streaming, Big Whale. We're going to go through the whole damn tournament and watch it all, man. This is just stream number 1 of 5.
How much does Yvonne make it?
All right, so Yvonne obviously going to go for check raise here. I hope anyways.
She with 900k behind. All in seems a little optimistic.
Steedel. Okay. Yvonne Steedel.
425.
Raise up to 425,000.
Richard's just going to have to let this one go. Again, never quite know what the dynamics being established so far on this feature table. It's our first time with this table, but they have been playing together all day.
You got to respect the hat, man. It's a good hat. Hat game is pretty, yeah. Guy's outfit is pretty sick, though. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can just tell people are famous based on, like, how they're put together. You know he's famous. You know he's famous. Just looking at him, you're like, yep, that guy's famous. No way you're not. Every time.
Just forgot to press the fold button.
He just gives it off. I'd like you to do 1B tomorrow. Would be cool from a BL Chief 1961. I might actually. I'm thinking about it. Because I want to play online poker tomorrow as well. But day 1B is a similar length. And then my parents are in town for 11 days, actually. I haven't seen my parents in a year and a half. It's been so long. So I'm going to spend some nice time with them here in the UK. Really looking forward to it. But we're not going to be able to do any streams of day 2, day 3, or day 4 while they're here. So I'm thinking about doing day 1B so that we get those out of the way and then we can continue day 2 after their trip. Simon from Ireland, raising it up under the gun to 50,000 here. Blinds at 10K, 20K. Richard Seymour on 670 under the gun +2. Kind of a tough one with ace jack offsuit here. What about the dealer's hair? Strong, very strong. Kingfisher.
Jack.
I am going to play some poker later. We have a home game starting up in 52 minutes, actually, if you guys want to play. It's a $5 home game. It's on Party Poker, so come hop in. ! home game if you want the details. Richard Seymour is going to call here. Yvonne is going to fold. Diane is going to fold. Rodriguez and Charette. I know Charette from somewhere. I feel like I know Charette. Or like we were friends on Skype at some point or something. I feel like I know him. I could be wrong. Cali Nubs 17, drop the sub with the Twitch Prime. Welcome to the team, Cali Nubs. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Hearts out. If I win another ticket, can I save it for next Saturday or were to lose it? I feel like you would get to keep it. Go to the ticket you have now and check the expiry on it. If it's longer than next week, then you would for sure be fine, right? I don't know 100% though. Deuce, never lose.
Checks back his ace.
But just play anyways, dude. Don't enter only because the added value. Enter because it's awesome.
Start to this table. Yet
Look at
again,
that.
He's been two outed.
Check on the flop. Queen ball on the turn like it's no big deal. And Simon now has
Equally bet now.
set of queens. 3 of a kind. Trips. Richard in a tough spot, especially because he checked back on the flop. So he was very cautious, which I think was a good player, and it just like very unlucky for him. So now Simon's probably thinking, how can I get all the money? How can I get the most money?
Bets 100 into 150. Nothing but a call here for Richard, holding top pair and a gut shot.
Bet of 100,000. Richard calls. 6 on the
Very
end.
nice.
Full
Richard
house
finds
for
the
Simon.
raise, the queen's full.
That's not a scary card for Seymour.
Richard, he's jack.
I don't see him getting away from his hand here. Pretty sick.
Aces and sixes with queen.
Pretty sick, especially with only 520,000.
Simon,
Was gone for a few hours. Is this Group B? This is still day 1A. Still day 1A here.
not much else he can have. And this draws at an ace. So it should go a little bit bigger here. There it is,
Whoa, that's a
350.
big bet. 350,000 is really big. Very, very big. Richard Seymour now has aces and sixes with a queen kicker, so his jack doesn't play anymore. Oh, that's a very big bet from Simon. I think actually Seymour can get away from his hand here. If it was more a bet of like around 200K, you can't, but like a full pot size bet is a lot. Uh-oh.
There's no spades. Can Richard find the fold? He does.
Sick. Nice fold, Richard Seymour.
Very disciplined fold.
Go on. Nice one, man. Solid. Solid fold.